Have you ever felt like God's timing was off? Like you're waiting and waiting, but nothing's happening? I've been there too. But today, I want to remind you that God's timing isn't just good. It's perfect. He knows exactly when and how to bring about His promises in your life. By the end of this video, I believe you'll be encouraged to trust His timing more than ever before. We see time in seconds, minutes, hours, and days. But God sees time differently. What seems like a delay to us is actually God's perfect orchestration. God is outside of time, which means He's never rushed, never late, and never early. He moves in His perfect timing because He sees the full picture. Think of it like a puzzle. While we can only see one piece at a time, God sees the entire masterpiece. So when it feels like He's taking too long, trust that He's aligning each piece perfectly. When you're waiting on God, it's easy to think that His silence means He's saying no. But remember this, God's delays are not His denials. He often says not yet because He's preparing something greater than we can imagine. Just look at Joseph's story. After receiving a dream from God, Joseph faced years of setbacks, betrayal, slavery, imprisonment. But in the end, all those years of waiting were preparation for his purpose as a leader in Egypt. Isaiah 40:31 encourages us. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. God is using your waiting season to strengthen you, build your character, and prepare you for the blessings ahead. So don't be discouraged. Your delay is God's way of getting you ready. Sometimes, God's timing isn't just about the destination. It's about who we're becoming along the way. Romans 5:3-4 says, "We rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope." Every time we wait, God is doing something within us. He's growing our faith, teaching us to trust Him, and molding us into the person who can handle the blessings He has prepared. If God were to give us what we asked for too soon, we might not be ready. Like a seed that takes time to grow and bear fruit, there's a season for everything, and rushing the process can cause damage. So let's embrace the waiting, knowing that God is working in us. When God delays, it's often to set the stage for a greater display of His glory. Remember the story of Lazarus? When Jesus heard that His friend Lazarus was sick, He didn't rush to heal him. Instead, He waited until Lazarus had been dead for 4 days before He showed up. Why? Because Jesus wanted to show that He had power over life and death. John 11:4 says, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." If Jesus had arrived earlier, He could have healed Lazarus. But by waiting, He performed an even greater miracle, raising him from the dead. Sometimes God's timing doesn't just change our circumstances, it changes our understanding of who He is. He's setting you up for something greater than you've imagined. So what do you do while you wait for God's perfect timing? You hold on to hope and stay rooted in His promises. Lamentations 3:25 reminds us, "The Lord is good to those who wait for Him, to the soul who seeks Him." Don't give up on what God has spoken over your life. Instead, use this time to seek Him more, to deepen your relationship with Him, and to keep believing that He is faithful. Habakkuk 2:3 assures us, "For the vision awaits its appointed time. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay." God's promises will come to pass. They may not come when you expect them, but they will come at the right time. If this message has encouraged you today, take a moment to reflect on where you've been waiting for God's timing. Comment below and share what you're trusting God for. Subscribe to this channel to receive more uplifting and faith-building messages.